Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. And KABOOM, one of the fieriest characters in Yugioh Zexal, using one of my favorite anime decks actually, Big Trans, has just gotten some new support in the upcoming Blazing Dominion set. 5 new cards, 2 effect monsters, 2 XZs, and a spell card. We are going to go over these cards. I actually played Trains. It's one of the few decks that I have experience playing. So personally, I am very excited to be getting new Train support. But as always, this video is going to tackle it more from an anime reference perspective. And without any further ado, let's just get right into it, starting with Heavy Knight Babel Decker. Now, the first 3 monsters, I don't think there's any major references, so if I'm missing that, please let me know. You can normal summon this card without tributing. The second and third effect is once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Earth monster from your hand. If your opponent activated a card or effect this turn, you can special summon 1 rank 10 Earth machine monster from your extra deck using this card you control as material. This is treated as an XZ summon. So pretty good card there. Again, any ability that allows a level 10 Train to be normal summoned without tributing is great. And then again, if you have like Devil Crane in your hand, you can just special summon that, and that's of course a really good card to try to overlay into. Or if your opponent is going to Ash one of your, spell cards or searchers or whatever, if you can summon this card, then I believe you can just go into one of your XZ's monsters anyway. So definitely a really interesting card there. And then we're getting another effect monster, level 10, Noctilucent Train Bleu Traveler. Now this card, somebody pointed out, is on the artwork of Revolving Switchyard. Maybe it's this one all the way to the left. That's the only blue looking one there, but if that's the case, I think that's really, really cool. Revolving Switchyard is such an important card for the Train deck, and the fact that they looked at that card and said, oh, we kind of have a monster here we've never touched. Let's make that an actual card. Not a reference to the anime, but really cool nonetheless. First effect once per turn, second effect once per duel. You can discard this card, add 1 Train Connection or Revolving Switchyard from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Thank you. We finally have a searcher here for Revolving Switchyard, which I think is great. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 other Earth machine monster in your graveyard, special summon it, end this card. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except machine monsters for the rest of this turn. So that's great as well. There's been many times where I just don't have enough material on my board deep into a duel to make another XZ's monster. The fact that this effect monster not only is a search for Revolving Switchyard, but then has a graveyard effect that allows you to special summon another Earth machine monster from graveyard seems really, really good. This card seems like a really, really fun card to utilize in Trains. So really exciting there. Then we are getting 2 XZ's monsters, and of course, it has to have 5,000 attack Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket, which is a retrain of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. And 5,000, fun fact, I believe is the highest attack any monster has. It's tied with, 5 God Dragon and Master Dragon Knight. There's a few that have 5,000 attack, but really, really cool. 3 level 10 XZ's monsters. Once per turn, you can also XZ summon this card by discarding 1 card and using Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max you control, transfer its material to this card. The first effect is once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on this card as material, as a quick effect, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that monster, then inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Once per turn during your end phase, detach 1 material from this card or destroy it. So that's a little bit of an annoying effect, but it is what it is. The first effect seems really good. Again, anything that is going to allow interruption on your opponent's turn is super useful, especially because the aggressive train route, I feel like, usually doesn't have that. You go into Super Dreadnought Cannon Gustav Max, you burn for 2k, and then you rank up into the rank 11 and try to attack. And there's no real interruption, but this gives you another route from going into Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, which I think is really cool. And again, it allows you to mess with your opponent's turn. So really, really cool effect there. Now, the next 2 cards, I promise, have anime references. And we're going to start with Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Flying Launcher. So this card is, if Anna KABOOM was a train, what would it look like? Not only is the color scheme very much the color scheme of Anna KABOOM, you know, with the pink outlining of the train, but you also have her classic cannon that she would just carry around and shoot at people and ride on. That's basically the cannon that is protruding from this train itself, which is awesome. And then another element here is the name is Flying Launcher, and that is the name of Anna's cannon in the subbed Zexal version. So this card is just a true and through tribute to the train girl herself, Anna KABOOM, which is amazing. 3,800 attack, 3,000 defense, 2 level 10 monsters. First and third effect is once per turn. If this card is XZ summoned, you can add 1 Earth Machine monster or Barrage Blast from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 machine monster. In addition to your normal summon, you can only gain this effect once per turn, and you can detach any number of materials from this card, then target that many spells / traps on the field, destroy them. So this allows you to, I guess, pop some of your opponent's back row if you so choose to go that route, instead of going the, you know, Gustav Max route with your rank 10. I'm not going to lie, this card sadly doesn't really seem that good. Getting another normal summon is cool. Obviously, the goal of this card is to try to get another Xyz monster on the field, maybe the Gustav Max route. But this card just seems all right. I think the design and, of course, the reference, the direct reference to Anna KABOOM is much cooler than what this card actually does. But that's the second Xyz monster. And then the only spell card we are getting is Exceptional Schedule. Now, maybe the artwork looks a little familiar here. The portals that you see are actually the graveyard portals that are in the Yugioh Zexal anime. So this is directly referencing how the graveyards look in Yugioh Zexal, which is really, really cool. And of course, it's kind of a play on Urgent Schedule, which is another really good card in the train deck. Each effect is once per turn. Add 1 special schedule or urgent schedule from your deck to your hand. Then you can special summon 1 schedule token, which is a level 10 machine earth monster, to your opponent's field. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 level 10 machine monster in your graveyard or banishment. Send 1 card you control to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon that monster. So I always love, of course, when spells, traps, monsters have graveyard effects. It just gives them a little bit of an extra kick. This card, I think, is really good in the fact that it searches Urgent Schedule. And I was kind of wondering, what's the point of special summoning a monster on your opponent's field? But then I remember that Urgent Schedule allows you to special summon a level 4 or lower and a level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck in defense position, negating their effects, of course, if your opponent controls more monsters than you. So this is a great play to start, not only to get Urgent Schedule, but you actually get a monster on your opponent's field, so you can actually activate Urgent Schedule. So really cool there. All in all, I don't think these train cards are going to make the deck like super good, but I do think it definitely adds a dimension to the train deck that is going to be very, very fun and just make the deck overall more consistent and more playable, which is certainly a good thing and a good step in the right direction for the train deck. So a couple of cool references there to Anna KABOOM, a couple of cool references there to Zexal. If I missed any, as always, please let me know down below in the comments. Awesome support in the Blazing Dominion set. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.